Today's coverage of the IHSA Girls Doubles Tennis Championship is proudly presented by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And by Country Companies Insurance. When it matters most, the country's behind you. Prospect High School is the site for the IHSA Girls Doubles Tennis Championship. It's an absolutely beautiful afternoon. We'll crown a state champion when this match is over today. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jim Blaney, along with Lake Forest tennis coach Corky Layton, and we have an experienced group in this championship match here in 1998. Liz Fraker and Nicole Griglione from Champaign Central. They were here last year, except there's one thing they'd like to change, and that's the outcome.
Yes, they lost to the Matcos from West Aurora last year in a very close match, but I know they're back to win this one.
On the opposite side of the net from the Champaign Central team will be a team from Hinsdale Central. Lorraine Coulter and Kate Williams will also be trying to win a state title, and they know a little bit about the Matcos as well, having beaten them this morning in the semifinals.
Yes, they played a great match, classic doubles. They made the Matcos look a little bit worse than they did last year.
It's going to be an aggressive doubles match for a state championship in 1998. We'll have the opening serve coming up right after this timeout. Just about ready for the opening of the IHSA Girls Doubles Tennis Championship for 1998, and it's nice now, but it's going to be growing cooler and growing cooler rapidly as the afternoon wanes here. We're just about ready to go with the action. Hinsdale Central will serve first, and Kate Williams in the red bandana and Lorraine Coulter in the white. That's how you keep them straight. Lorraine Coulter earns the point for Hinsdale Central as both of the Red Devils come aggressively to the net in the opening point of the game.
Yeah, interesting first point. Champaign Central team is generally on the net, and that time they got forced back to the baseline.
Kate Williams with the unforced error.
She missed a volley right on top of the net. The Hinsdale Central team was incredibly aggressive today in their semifinal win over the Matcos from Aurora. They're starting right where they left off.
And the favor returned as it's now 30-15. About as aggressive as you're ever going to see anybody.
Yeah, that's
off
why
the hop in a match.
That's why you want to get to the net in doubles right there. It doesn't take much of a shot to win a point. Kate Williams hit a great shot right there.
Go, Red. Red. Ball.
Very quickly, game number one goes to Hinsdale Central.
Great volley by Kate Williams there. Well, I think Griglione and Fraker know that they've got their work cut out for them here. This is a very different team than the one they faced in last year's finals. The Matcos played a much slower style of play last year. Griglione and Fraker were very dominant.
Look at how the Champaign Central doubles team of Nicole Griglione and Liz Fraker advanced on to this championship game. Two pretty good victories in the last two matches. Wins over New Trier and Aurora West, which is a pretty good path to get to the finals. And as for, that's the Hinsdale Central path to the finals, excuse me. And you see Fraker and Griglione getting some instructions as they go out after the changeover in the first game. And now here's Champaign Central's road to the championship match. And a three-setter in the semifinals to get into this championship.
Yeah, the team from Moline that they beat was one of the 1-2 seeds, as were the Matcos from Aurora West Aurora.
So it didn't exactly go according to Hoyle, but two quality teams here in the championship match.
Okay, a little bit of a miss-hit on that overhead.
And discussion on both ends of the court. There's communication paramount in doubles, of course.
Yeah, you'll notice a lot of this talking back and forth. The ideal doubles team plays with one mind and two bodies. So they want to make sure they're both on the same page here.
Wind a huge factor, and it's blowing from behind the serving team at the moment.
Okay, good serve. Lorraine Coulter came over that return a little bit too much. Put it in the net. Again, you got to, when you're returning against a net rushing team, you've got to keep your returns low, but that one was just a little bit too low. Lob was long.
30-15.
Best way to get a team, attacking team, off the net is to lob, but it's very difficult to lob in this wind.
An awfully long signal. I think there was some confusion at that point on the serve.
Well, I think Kate Williams called the serve out, but it wasn't ruled such by the line judge, and so they had to continue play. I think since the girls call all their lines up until they get to the semis, I think it's difficult for them to get back on track and let the line judges make the calls for them. If you notice, the girls are putting their hands behind their back to give signals, indicating to their partner what kind of serve they want, where it should be hit.
Missed opportunity there.
Yeah, difficult to hit overheads in this wind, too. We talked before about the footwork factor in the wind. Liz Fraker moving her feet all over the place, can't quite track that one down.
And that is Nicole Griglione.
There's a good coach by Fraker to put the ball away. Williams can't quite get it up.
Both teams holding serve in their first service game. Now it goes to the serve of Lorraine Coulter of Hinsdale Central. Wind may help on that one. Nope.
Yep. Again, there's the wind. Nicole Griglione set her feet a little too early, and that ball drifted away. She couldn't get over there and hit the overhead. She had a chance at an easy put away, but again, footwork is critical in this wind.
And there was an example where the wind just got a hold of that and carried it. That one I didn't think was going to make it. It did. The previous one was the other way around.
It's hard. This wind is tricky today. I know the girls are having the same problems out there on the court.
Love.
Long. Again, if you're going to take an attacking team off the net, the best way to do it is lob, but it's going to take a little while for the girls to get the feel of what they're going to have to do in order to lob in this wind. This is a lot windier than it was when they played their semifinal matches.
Especially if you're trying to lob with the wind.
Yes. Nice coach by Kate Williams to win that game.
Coulter and Williams up 2-1, but on serve.
Big serve. Look at Williams. She's taken off already. She knows it's a good serve. Puts it away. Fraker can't get it up in time.
Well, now it's going to be time for Hinsdale Central to try and figure out how to lob with the wind. I would have to say the Red Devil on the back of the Hinsdale Central players' shirts reminds me a lot of one of the teachers I had when I was in high school.
Got to watch out for those teachers.
Very, very familiar with those Red Devils. And the strategy session over as Champaign Central duo. So far, neither team able to figure out how to earn a service break, but it's still early.
Generally in doubles, it's difficult to break serve the first time through. Once the players start to get a feel for the returns, unless there's one of the players has a lot of problems with the serve, they're going to hold serves the first few times.
Like the first time through a batting order.
Right. Everybody's just playing their role. Not going to take any extra chances.
Now, Liz Fraker with the service game.
Got it.
Absolutely. A little unsure what was going to happen there. Coulter started toward it, Williams started toward it, and all of a sudden, just no one took it.
Stay tough, guys. Stay aggressive. Come on.
For the admonishment to stay aggressive. That's exactly what happens when there's a little indecision.
Yeah. Got to stay aggressive. Both players. It's better to see both players banging their rackets together going after a ball than letting one go through the middle or forgetting to hit it until the last second.
Got it.
Miss hit overhead. Nicole Briglione staring dead into the sun on that last overhead. I'm sure she had no idea where the ball was. Here's the first one. She gets it back, goes up again, and she's blinded. She has no idea where the ball is right now.
You could see her pull off of that a little bit. Because all of a sudden that indecision, you're just not quite sure where the ball's going to be.
That's right.
Courtside mic's working very well. I have no idea what that sound was. 30-15.
Oh, she missed the overhead. She finally got the easy one. She overhit it. It's something you got to be careful of. You feel like you're losing control a little bit, and then you overplay.
She thought Nicole Griglione did. She had that one.
Yep.
And it was much better than the last one. She could see that one.
She could see it, but she forgot about the wind factor,
Now
which
it's
is
really
kicking up now.
Go. You're up. You got it. Come on, right here.
She really had to thread a needle to get that one into play. Nicole Briglione did, and she couldn't get it quite over the net. As close as Williams and Coulter were to the net, I'm surprised she didn't try a lob.
Break point for Williams and Coulter. That's exactly the shot that is going to cause fits throughout the match.
A team that can use the lob well is going to control this match. A team can control the lob is going to also take advantage.
You're up.
Liz Fraker able to get that ball down at Kate Williams' feet, couldn't volley it up in time.
Advantage Champaign Central. A moment ago they were in danger of going down a break and being down 3-1. Now they have a chance to get everything back on track.
Watch it.
Two miss hits in a row there and worked to the advantage of Hinsdale Central.
Greg Coulter hit that return to serve off the frame straight up in the air. Straight off the frame, up in the air. Nicole Briglione can't quite time the overhead. The sun gets in her eyes and will swing. The ball drops straight down on her racket. Chance.
That shot just does not seem to be there for Briglione here in the early going.
Briglione's missing a lot of overheads. I wonder if this is going to shake her confidence a little bit.
And whereas things were on track a moment ago for Champaign Central, now Hinsdale Central with a big point early in the match.
Yours.
She backed off that overhead.
Yours. I got it.
A lot of air under that one.
You're up.
Another one that's up there in the air. That was too much.
So a break for Hinsdale Central. They lead 3-1 in the first set. Can't ask for more than that if you're a Red Devil.
Well, when we looked at this match going in, based on what we saw in the semifinals, we thought we were going to see a match that was incredibly aggressive, and both teams ending up using the lob to try to take the aggressiveness out of the other team. Ray Coulter with a chance there, but pounds a volley into the net. Okay, again, you can notice the player at the net getting ready, giving hand signals, indicating whether or not they're going to stay or switch and what direction they want that serve. Sometimes they'll even call a spin. Okay, that time the team got caught on the switch. Hinsdale Central switched, and Kate Williams couldn't get over soon enough to cover that return by Liz Fraker.
15-30. Oh, whereas a moment ago, the bounces were going all the way of Hinsdale Central. Now it's flipped around. And a break point right back for Champaign Central.
You, come on.
And again, just that shot not there at the moment for Briglione.
Well, she's having a lot of trouble tracking this ball in the air. She's just a little bit out of position and starting to get a little shaky on her swing, too.
She had one earlier on the point that went well. But it wasn't there at the last. See the wind take that one off.
Okay, well, that time Fraker takes the overhead. Williams forced a lob there to Briglione, and she hit it well enough that when Fraker hit the next one, it ended the point.
So Hinsdale Central leading 3-2, but we are back on serve in the first set. It's the Ultimate Fan League on Fox Sports Chicago. Think you know your sports trivia? Well, we've got the game show for you. Join host Bill Dwyer for the freshest, funniest, and most irreverent sports game show you've ever seen. The Ultimate Fan League, Wednesday, or weeknights, I should say, at 5:30 on Fox Sports Chicago. Got stuff blowing around up here. It's a little hard to read.
Yeah, that's a lot of wind.
We're having a hard time just holding everything down up here.
That's right. Weighted down, nailed down, taped down.
And you can only imagine the fits it's giving the players.
Well, doubles is generally a fast game. And if these girls move their feet and catch the ball early, the wind's going to be less of a factor. If it turns into a match of lobs, it's going to be difficult for both teams.
Service game for Champaign Central now.
decision. Griglione and Fraker couldn't decide who was going to take that ball, so nobody went after it. Went right down the middle. There's that lob.
Looked like Griglione thought the ball was not moving as quickly as it actually was. She had actually started about a step into the net and then realized she had to head back.
Yep. Well, it started up on Fraker's side, but the wind pulled it over onto her side.
Got it. Here. Get it. I got it. Here.
There's Griglione again having trouble with the overhead. I think they found somebody, Champaign Central has found somebody that they want to pick on. Sometimes you start a doubles match, you have no idea what you're going to do to beat another team, and all of a sudden some small thing happens and it makes a huge impact on the rest of the match.
And I would imagine, too, it might be leading to a little bit of a confidence problem as well.
Yep. It's the hand signal.
Go. Watch it. Go.
Okay, Lorraine Coulter drills that backhand as Fraker can't bring it down in time. She's there for the volley, but the ball sails long.
Triple break point for Hinsdale Central. Griglione will reload.
Griglione that time, no lack of confidence on that backhand.
And she had those lined up, both of them.
Oh yeah, unloaded.
It seems at this point she just needs to get some shots to fall for her and get back on track.
Well, again, both of these teams have played a lot of great tennis. Just a few shots one way or another. It's going to make a difference.
Let's face it, too, you're playing for a state title, and things can be a little tight in the early going.
That's right. That's a great action by Kate Williams, that sliding slice. It's a return you don't see a lot in singles, but it's a great one for doubles.
So Hinsdale Central able to get the service break and go up 4-2. It's just been the unforced errors that have just been really hurting Champaign Central.
Nice serve.
Great serve, Ryan.
Liz Fraker wishes she had that one back. She probably hit the ball about 5 times as hard as she needed to. This is a return where you want to just hit the ball down at your opponent's feet. She slugged, caught it a little late, but hit it way too hard.
Rain Coulter serving.
Good anticipation by Kate Williams. She's there. Up in the air, smacks it away.
She was all over this from
Here
the
she
word
goes.
go.
She sees the serve down the middle. That's a signal to go. And there she is. Okay, that time Williams faked. Fraker tried to go down the alley, and Williams was there to put the ball away. The wind helped a little keep it in. Your fake, come back. Volley cross court in the corner.
On a day without a breeze, that one would have gone out.
That's
Not
right.
today.
Watch it.
I'll tell you what,
Fraker
Kay Williams has been outstanding so far.
What an athlete. What an athlete. She's all over the ball.
5-2 Hinsdale Central. First set of the match here in the 1998 Girls Doubles Championship. The broadcast rights for the Illinois High School Association Girls Tennis Championships have been granted to Fox Sports Chicago and Intersport Television. by the Illinois High School Association. Any unauthorized reproduction or rebroadcast of this event is prohibited. 5-2 Hinsdale Central, the first set, Champaign Central serving. Double fall to open up number 8.
Well, this is Fraker having a little trouble finding a rhythm here with her serve. She tosses the ball a little high, and she's trying to lower that toss. I think she's having a little trouble with her rhythm now. Another miss hit overhead by Champaign Central. Maybe the play that determines the outcome of this match is the ability to hit an overhead.
And I think the fact that Kate Williams has just taken care of anything her way, that may also be a factor in this.
Yeah, she's been all over the net. She's got great hands. That was a nice serve.
Really not a whole lot Williams could do with that one. That thing was
That was a rocket.
As you pointed out earlier, if it comes in fast, it's going back fast,
That's
too.
right.
15-30.
That lob right on the line.
Didn't need to be that cute with it.
Right, and that's a very unfriendly net. Touch the top of the net, bounce right back in her face.
Liz Fraker was a long way away from that.
Anything would have, any shot over the net would have won that point.
30-all.
Oh, look at the hands. Kate Williams just stepped right into that ball. She knew where it was going to be. Great volley. Lorraine Coulter barely gets this overhead back, and there's Kate Williams step in. That's where I want that volley to go.
Set point for Hinsdale Central.
That ball curve in the air. Again.
That's a pretty good shot.
Look at that drop.
First set goes to Hinsdale Central, and Lorraine Coulter did all the work, but when it was time to end it, Kate Williams brought it into it quickly.
Nice backhand. Williams calls it, pushes her over. Actually calls a switch here, but it's too quick get back and wins it with the angle volley.
And not only that, but Hinsdale Central has Williams, who appears to be the better of the two servers, opening up the second set.
She has a nice spin serve for doubles. Ball kicks up high, gives her plenty of time to get to the net. The fact that she's so quick with her feet also helps. Over. These guys are all over the court. The Hinsdale Central team was all scrambled up. Coulter pops it up. Fraker closes in. She thinks she's ended the point. Everybody relaxes. Kate Williams, court and a half over, comes up with a shot. Okay, miss hit there.
Starting to be the Kate Williams show.
Right. I think the Champaign Central team is trying to use this lob to try to get themselves back in here, but can't control it quite as well as they'd like.
Got it. I got it. Go. I got it. Mine. I got it. Okay, good.
Oh, that's out. Okay, a little confusion with Hinsdale Central that time as who was going to take that ball as it drifted about 6 feet in the air.
And what happened too, Corky, is the miscommunication prevented them from getting in possession,
Right.
position, I should say, for when the ball was on its way back.
Next shot, right?
Here.
Well, that point was a lobathon. Each team running backwards and forwards, chasing down the lobs.
Hinsdale Central opens up the second set the same way they ended the first set, and that is really controlling the action. So after winning the first set, they're up 1-0 in the second set. Let's take a look back at the stats from the first set of action, a set that Hinsdale Central won 6-2. And it was really a story of unforced errors for Champaign Central being the key factor. 18 unforced errors in Champaign Central, very high first serve percentage for Hinsdale, and then the winners you see up there almost all off the racket of Kate Williams.
That's right.
I think too a little bit of the confusion there on the 2 points back was Lorraine Coulter, I think, has a lot of been getting out of the way of Kate Williams because she knows she's hot.
That's right.
Let her handle things.
Let her handle things. But this wind is really tricky. I think these girls are starting to get a feel for it, but it's definitely a factor out here right now. I mean, I don't think on a calmer day you'd see quite as many lobs because it's much more difficult to hit the overhead at this point in the match than it is to hit the lob.
Well, and now Champaign Central too. They're up against it because all the momentum is in the favor of Hinsdale Central. They've got to figure out, first of all, before they can really work on getting back into the match, is just how to get some shots to fall for them and get a little momentum built up.
Well, I think if they start to sense what you've seen, Jim, keep the ball away from Kate Williams for a while and maybe help cool her down a little bit, maybe they can get back in the match that way. I mean, that's one strategy in doubles is to try to play one of the other players.
Griglioni's service game, 15-love.
Got it. No.
That's the kind of start that Champaign Central might have been looking for.
Yep. There's 2 service return errors in Hinsdale Central. Maybe they relaxed a little bit too much after they won that first set.
Look at Lorraine Coulter.
In the air, off the ground, almost at the baseline. It's a winner down the middle. Okay, here's the approach. Chip lob. Breaker in the air, smacks it down the middle, nobody's there.
And I would imagine if you measured that out, you would find that was exactly down the middle.
Yeah, almost precisely exactly. Nice drop volley by Lorraine Coulter. Griglioni unable to dig it up.
Still 40-15 though.
Here's Coulter's volley. Nice touch. Griglioni unable to get there.
That one started out over in the singles court line and ended up in between the two courts.
Yeah, the lob was probably a 30-foot lob, and it moved 20 feet in the air.
40-30. And this now has turned into probably the pivotal game in the early going here for Champaign Central. They were up at one time 40-11 in this game. They dropped the first set of the match. They're trailing 1-0 here in the second set.
Consideration when you hit those lobs. It's a nice topspin lob, but didn't blew it long.
Are they starting to work on Lorraine Coulter, Corky, you think?
I think they probably talked it over. I think they want to keep the ball away from Kate Williams for a while, so she'll cool down as much as possible. You get one person starts dominating a match like that, you got to take them out of the play.
Although Lorraine Coulter doing quite nicely, thank you.
Oh, she's a very strong player in her own right. She said Williams is a little hotter right now.
Advantage Hinsdale Central. I hate to make predictions, but I would think that losing this game and a service break going to Hinsdale Central, it might be pretty tough to come back from Champaign Central.
No, and then you got Hinsdale Central serving the next game. That doesn't look too good. Williams, no mercy. Boom. Let me see that ball.
What a comeback in that game for Hinsdale Central. Liz Fraker had no hope here.
She just tried to get the ball up over the net. Kate Williams all over it.
So what was a 40-love lead in game 2 of the second set for Champaign Central turns around into a service break for Hinsdale Central. They lead 2-love in the second set.
Well, there was a little bit of a mental lapse there by Hinsdale Central at the beginning of the game. It was the first two service returns, and then after that, they got right back on track. Okay, big first serve. And you have to wonder how much the fact that Williams is dancing around up there at the net is affecting the returns of the Champaign Central team. She's always ready to go. She's so quick.
Well, and she has showed in this match that she's had it hit at her head, at her feet. She's handled everything.
Yep. Well, Coulter's serve is tough. I think, you know, the way to keep the person at the net honest is to use lobs or drive down the alley. But with a big serve like Coulter has, it makes it difficult.
Even though Hinsdale Central lost that point, that was a graphic illustration of what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
30-15.
7 out of 10 times, Kate Williams is gonna put that ball away. Okay, maybe that's a ball she should have let Lorraine Coulter hit. She was way out of position on that one. Ball was still rising. Lorraine's got to call that. But again, as you mentioned before, I think part of the time when your teammate is hot, you tend to let some balls go that you probably should take yourself. Well, there's the down the alley. Kate Williams couldn't quite get a racket on that one. Cole Griglione drilled it down the alley. Here's the poach. Got a little bit behind her. Cole Griglione, boom, gone.
Griglione saw that the Red Devils were a little bit out of position there and took advantage of it. Hit the exact shot that was required.
Yep.
And a big point now for the Maroons as they are in line for a service break here in game 3.
That's the return you'd really like to see in doubles. Low at the server's feet as she's coming in.
An outstanding game by Nicole Griglione and Liz Fraker. They were on the ropes, in danger of really being driven right out of the match. They come back down from 30-love and win the game.
They really took charge there, as opposed to what happened in the game before, where they just kind of they let Hinsdale Central take control.
No matter what you might think, those guys are not warm.
It's chilly out here,
especially if you're standing up in the wind as they are.
It's amazing.
A little bit chilly.
Yes, a lot chilly.
And the wind has been a factor all day long. But more of a factor in this match, Kate Williams. Well, now the Maroons down 2-1 here in the second set. They have the serve. And Liz Fraker will serve for Champaign Central.
As you watch Lorraine Coulter dance around with a racket, spinning it around, this is a... I'll show you later.
I got it. You. You got it. Bounce. They're up. Got it. Watch it. Got it. Good. Mine, mine, mine.
They were backed up almost all the way to the fence and still came back and won the point.
One of those lobs hit the baseline. They barely got back into the point, and then were able to take control by using the lob themselves to get into the net. And Liz Fraker hit that great overhead to set it up.
I can feel the momentum shifting here a little bit.
Well, again, you've got an experienced team. Griglione and Fraker were in the finals last year.
Griglione made no mistake with that.
Yeah, she finally made her overhead. I think that's going to help her confidence a lot. Good serve. Popped up a little short. Griglione's all over that one. Serve called out. Okay, called out. Just past the baseline.
Boy, how things have turned around here, Corky.
Yep. Champaign now slapping hands. They're pumped up. They're ready to go.
Well, you can
Hinsdale Central a little subdued.
And you hear the difference in when Fraker and Griglione are calling for the ball, the confidence that wasn't there just even a couple of games ago.
Absolutely. That's a tough serve. That wind kicked up really hard just before Liz Fraker tossed the ball up. And she's looking right into the sun.
40-15. And that was called out. 40-30.
Actually, I think she reversed her call. I think they called that one in.
They called that one in?
Yep.
Come on, Alex, here's one right here. Come on, here's one.
Yeah. Here we go.
I think you can say that the momentum has certainly now turned back to Champaign Central as they come back. They've tied it 2-all here in the second set.
Well, they figured out a way to neutralize Hinsdale Central, and now they can start attacking themselves.
That was one of the few bounces we've seen today that didn't come back to the players because of the wind. That one
just kept
took
going.
off.
Yep,
Yeah.
just kept going. I think both Lorraine Coulter and Kate Williams thought that ball was going to sail along, and it just dropped in, and
then it took off.
And then it took off.
Like the Super Bowl when we played as a kid. The first bounce didn't go, but the second one did. Yeah.
Got it. Watch it. Go. Watch out. Go. Out.
Kate Williams probably missed one of her few forehand volleys of this match right there. Getting a little shaky, trying to do a little bit too much.
Love 30. Whereas everything was going the Red Devils' way, now they're the ones trying to get the train back on the tracks.
Good serve from Kate Williams. That ball really kicked up because Fraker couldn't quite handle it, and it sailed wide.
Pretty good serve by Williams because the wind had really kicked up right as she threw the ball in the air.
She's got great spin in her serve. That's great double serve.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, tough lob by Kate Williams. Miss Fraker couldn't quite get behind it. The ball goes in the net.
30-all.
Seeing a momentum shift here again. Oh, that's a great return. Miss Fraker again right at Kate Williams' feet. Tough to bring that one up.
Break point for Champaign Central.
Okay, led on her first serve.
Would also give Champaign Central a 3-2 lead in the second. Well, where everything was going for Kate Williams her way in the first set, now all of a sudden nothing seems to be working, and the Maroons have broken back here and lead 3-2 in the second set.
Well, I think they found something. I'm not quite sure what it is. Here's that serve. It's a nice serve. Lorraine Coulter stretched out, can't quite get the shot she wants. Kate Williams stretched out and puts the ball in the net.
And amazing that just a little while ago we were talking about how maybe the Red Devils could really, really take control of the match and make it a foregone conclusion. But from that point we started talking about that. The Maroons have really battled and battled, and now they are in control here in the second set. It's hardcore football on Fox Sports Chicago. We are at Prospect High School. Jim Blaney and Corky Layton. This is the doubles final in the IHSA Girls Tennis Championships for 1998. Champaign Central now serving and trying to improve their chances on taking the second set.
Yours.
Liz Fraker wishes she had that one back.
Yeah, set her feet a little too early, couldn't quite get under the ball, and it sailed long.
Fraker didn't make a mistake.
Yeah, she was definitely moving her feet on that one.
Let's go, Red!
Amazing. The ball hangs up when it's going into the wind. And Nicole Griglione put that one away.
Yep, I think she's got her confidence back now. Generally in an exchange of lobs and overheads, the overheads win. Case in point right here. Great overhead by Nicole Griglione.
30-15.
Nicole Griglione also has great spin on her serve. That ball toss was just a little bit low, and that's why it sailed on her.
One has to wonder, Corky, if maybe the recovery time just wasn't there for Champaign Central in the early going of this match, because their semifinal match went much longer than the semifinal match for Hinsdale Central. And you almost kind of wonder if now they're more or less getting their second win, because the way this match has turned around is incredible.
Good point. Good point. Could be. Hinsdale Central was very fresh, very aggressive. Now they've kind of been silenced here, or at least shut down for a little while.
40-15 and a second serve coming up. The Maroons of Champaign Central have now taken a 4-2 lead in the second set.
Well, they're now making the overheads, and Hinsdale Central's lobs just aren't high enough.
My, how things have changed. Now a test of the resiliency of the Red Devils. Kate Williams at the net.
Here we
Lori
have
Coker
the
service game.
They call the I formation or Australian formation. Basic reason for this kind of formation is to cut off the cross-court returns, confuse your opponent. Okay. Good second serve set that up. Crane Colton, nice deep second serve. Was able to close in on the volley. Griglione didn't have a chance.
Plus Fraker didn't get that much on the service return either.
That's right. Okay, here's the I formation again. Signaling. You never know whether she's going to cross or not. Riding with that wind behind you isn't going to be, hasn't been as good today as the other way.
And Nicole Griglione spins the racket in the air afterwards saying, boy, I really shouldn't have done that, and I knew I shouldn't have done that.
Yep. Sometimes they just forget where they are.
.40 love for Hinsdale Central.
Okay, using that I formation seems to have thrown off the returns for Champaign Central a little bit. It's easier to pre-program your return if you know where the person that's at the net is going to be. Okay, lob volley in the wind, probably not a high percentage shot.
Hinsdale Central wins game number 7 of the second set. It's 4-3 Champaign Central, with the Maroons being up a break here in the second set. Hinsdale Central won the first set. We're back with more after this timeout. Back at Prospect High School, service game for the Maroons from Champaign Central. They lead in this second set 4-3. Trail in the match 1-0.
Lob was a little short by Kate Williams. Cole Griglione right there. Hit the ball by Lorraine Coulter. Okay, double fault. Never a good time for that, but started off with some momentum in that first game. First point.
North. They're up. Got it. Got it.
Amazing that stayed in.
Great communication at this point. You can hear the girls talking back and forth. Right up, goes back. I got it. There's a lob.
Lorraine
Great
Coulter
shot.
finishes off the point.
Great down the middle. If in doubt in doubles, hit the ball down the middle. It's what causes the most confusion.
15-30. That's a nice shot by Coulter.
Griglione took off a day early and still couldn't make the shot. Very, very good shot.
Hinsdale Central an opportunity to put this set back on serve. Couldn't come at a better time for them if they can indeed do that, because Champaign Central starting to roll.
What's up? Five. Got it. Got it.
We've talked a lot about momentum, Corky, and how it's swung back and forth. Well, right now it's just kind of hanging out there, waiting for somebody to grab it.
That's right. Kate Williams had a tremendous amount of confidence in the first set. That overhead didn't look like she was real confident.
Almost as old as Fraker was going for the ace there. Do a little court maintenance here. That serve was out.
The serve was wide. I
Yes.
didn't hear a call from the official.
It's exactly.
Now they're looking for a call from the official.
This serve is, watch it, I mean, it's not even close.
James, Hinsdale Central.
Okay. Yeah, that's
That is the right call, because
yeah,
it would be a
overruled
double
by
fault.
the chair umpire, right? That was a good overrule.
Right.
I think the lineman might have been screened and didn't see the bounce.
Well, the end result is we are now back on serve in the second set, knotted up at 4-4. So after that break, now the Red Devils a chance to win a service game and go on top.
They're up. I got it.
Just wide.
Back to the confusion on that serve, Corky. We would have been in an uncomfortable position because since they would all been looking at us, and I don't.
Yeah,
It-
no instant
you-
replay in high school tennis.
People would want them to use that, but you can't, can you?
No.
There's no provision for that.
No, it's up to the chair umpire to make the call. I mean, that was it's. Luckily, she's up high enough that she could see that. That was fairly obvious. Oh, great volley. Kate Williams about 1.5 inches from the net that time with a great angle volley. Great touch.
We have had that happen to us
Big
previously.
kick serve.
Oh, go ahead, Corky. I'm sorry.
A nice angle volley. I'm sorry, Jim.
We've had that situation happen at other high school events where there's been a questionable call, and all the coaches come over to us, and I'm not an encyclopedia of IHSA rules, but I know there's no provision for replay in any of the sports.
Yeah.
College basketball, you can do it, but it puts us in a rather uncomfortable position because we know what the call should be, but we're really
There's
not part of the action. Yeah.
Right. We're not officials.
Yeah.
Oh, great return by Liz Fraker. Williams hit a great serve. Didn't get in quite as close that time. The ball was at her feet.
30-15.
Actually a little too fast there. Kate Williams was already swinging at that ball before it got to her. Hit it straight down into the net.
30-all. And we are 4-all in the second set after the Red Devils won the opening set.
Whoa. Go. Short. Come in. Got it. Go.
Okay. Williams hit a nice lob over Bergileoni's backhand shoulder. That's one of the toughest shots in tennis. She just couldn't bring it down.
40-30. See if Kate Williams puts a little extra on this one.
Well, maybe actually a little less. Change the pace. Serve to the forehand. Griglioni dumps it in the net.
We're still on serve in the second set. Hinsdale Central leads 5-4 after winning the opening set.
Serve here. Griglioni comes over the top a little too much and then in the net.
The actual final point total is yet to be determined, but we do know this. The Trevians from New Trier, they are the champions in 1998 here in the IHSA Girls Tennis Championships. Hinsdale Central, of course, their standing might change just a hair here, depending on the outcome of this match. But congratulations to the Trevians. And of course, we are into the time of year where we'll be crowning all sorts of high school champions here on Fox Sports Chicago. Got cross country coming up in a couple of weekends, and of course, Thanksgiving weekend, the high school football championships, all 6 classes.
Oh, not a great lob, but Fraker, unable to do anything with it, dumps the ball in the net. Well, after double faulting the first point, they're now down 30-love. Champaign Central serving to try to get back in this one.
And no room for error right now.
Nope, they're on the wall. There's the middle.
I don't think you want to give Liz Fraker that opportunity anymore because she's had it twice and she's put it away both times.
Yeah, they set that lob up a little too short. The wind knocked it down even more. Here's Liz Fraker. Thank you very much. Down the middle.
She's also very good at giving no indication of where she's going with it.
Making sure on that one.
Similar to what we saw in the opening set as we now reach championship point for Hinsdale Central.
There she is putting it away. Great volley to set it up by Coulter.
Double championship point to be precise.
Quarter of an inch away from the state championship right there. Williams was just a little too quick again. She was hitting the ball down before she hit it forward.
Another try at championship point for the Hinsdale Central Red Devils.
that's a great point. It really worked it around. Just barely long on that lob.
Well, in the first set, Hinsdale Central was able to win that portion of the match because of the play of Kate Williams, and on match point, she comes back to the way she played in that opening set and was just all over the court, and anything that was thrown at her, she had the answer for.
That's great doubles.
Lorraine Coulter and Kim Williams, the doubles champions in the state of Illinois for 1998. And runner-up status again for Nicole Griglione and Liz Fraker. And certainly, you end your high school career with 2 runner-up finishes in the state championship. It may be a little hard to take, but it's certainly nothing to be ashamed of. The Red Devils win the title in 1998.
Well, it was a great tennis match, great doubles from both teams.
We'll be back to wrap it up after this timeout. Our Pepsi point of the match is the one that gives Hinsdale Central the state title in doubles, and as we saw early in the match, Kate Williams at the net just handled everything that was thrown at her.
Here's a nice cross-court volley. Griglione down the middle. Nice volley. Williams back in there. Coulter chases it down. Overhead by Griglione. Straker back for the ball, all the way back. Lifts it up. Williams is there. Griglione tries to lob it over their head. Ball goes out. Great match. Where they're happy.
And we will have a chance to talk with the champions from Hinsdale Central right after this timeout. Back at Prospect High School, we are joined by the state champions in girls tennis doubles for 1998, Lorraine Coulter and Kate Williams. And Lorraine, was there a point in the match where you were just letting Kate handle everything, but it seemed like everything that went her way, she was able to put away?
Yeah, she was playing really great in the match. You know, she's on top of everything.
Did you feel that in the beginning part of the match that you and Kate had the momentum going all your way, and then it seemed to slip away there a little bit? How did you get it back?
Actually, that happened in our last 2 matches. We had the momentum, and then in the middle of the second set, we always, you know, gave up, you know, our momentum a little bit. But, you know, we always get it back, so we were confident.
Great. Kate, what do you think was your inspiration during the match? You looked like you were on fire in that first set.
Well, Lorraine and I have wanted to win this for a while, and I was really motivated, especially because we lost all the 3 teams that we beat. So I was kind of pumped up.
Well, you did a great job. That was terrific.
You said you lost to the 3 of the teams that you beat in this tournament.
Yeah.
How much did it help that you had played them once before and maybe so, okay, well, we did this wrong and we can change this coming back in the state championships?
Well, we kind of knew.
Go ahead,
We kind of knew what to expect. You know, we were practicing everything during the season, especially with the Macos. You know, we were doing scenarios if we were playing these teams or whatever, but we just knew we could beat them if we were playing on. So.
How much time do you spend practicing that spin serve? That was really effective today.
Oh, actually, that was kind of a new thing because Lorraine and I were working on getting our first serves in, and that was the most consistent ball my serve, so I decided to use it more. And it actually worked better than my flat serves.
Certainly did. Certainly did work well today.
Kate, how much did you work on it? And you had to work on it enough to be confident to use it in a state championship match, though. So how much did you work on it, or was it a decision where you had to say, well, maybe I shouldn't try this, maybe not, but then again, it's the state finals, might as well give it a go?
Well, I've had that serve for a while, so it was just kind of like my backup serve, and it worked a lot, especially with the wind. So I decided to use that.
Lorraine, talk a little bit about the wind, because it's something we noticed, especially if you were playing in the near court to where our cameras were set up. It seemed like every ball, especially the lobs that were hit there, just gave you so much time to make a decision that many times players rushed the shot a little bit.
Yeah, we just, you know, we couldn't ignore the wind, so we, especially on that side, we tried to go do our lobs a little bit deeper so that when the wind was going against us, they would land in the court. But it was definitely a factor. We just took it into consideration, you know. Our lobs were on, so.
Yeah.
Well, everything was on. 6-2-6 for the state champions in girls doubles tennis for 1998. Congratulations to the Hinsdale Central Red Devils. We'll take a look at the final stats and wrap it up when we come back after this timeout from Prospect High School. The numbers that matter in this state championship in doubles, 6-2 and 6-4 in favor of Hinsdale Central. We'll get to more of the match stats in a second, but Corky, the thing that impressed me the most was the resiliency of really both these teams. Hinsdale Central took control of this match from the opening serve, but Champaign Central was able to battle their way back, and for a while there in the second set, they actually had control and really could have turned things around before Hinsdale Central re-seized that momentum and won the match.
Yeah, a lot of respect for that Hinsdale Central team as well as the Champaign Central team. They got down, they bounced back, they did a great job coming back in, but the Hinsdale Central team in the end was just way too strong.
As we take a look at the match stats, one number is going to jump off the page at you, and that is first serve percentage for Champaign Central, just 38%, and really that allowed Hinsdale Central to be more aggressive in their return game.
Yes, absolutely. That was very difficult, but that 80% first serve percentage for Hinsdale Central allowed them to keep Champaign Central on their heels right from the get-go.
And as we talk about Hinsdale Central winning a state championship, one of the things that really impressed me was the fact that they mentioned in the interview after the match that they had lost to a lot of the teams they had beaten in the state championship. And most people will take something like that and say, well, geez, how am I going to do this? I've already lost these people. They obviously use it as incentive to propel them to a state title.
Yeah, they had a tremendous amount of motivation that came from those earlier losses, and they used it to help motivate them through this entire state championship.
It doesn't matter if you have the incentive unless you follow through on it, and that's certainly what Hinsdale Central was able to do as they win the state title in girls doubles in 1998. For Corky Layton, I'm Jim Blaney saying so long from Prospect High School, where Lorraine Coulter and Kate Williams of Hinsdale Central are your 1998 doubles champions, defeating Nicole Griglione and Liz Fraker of Champaign Central 6-2 and 6-4. You've been watching IHSA Championship Tennis on Fox Sports Chicago. Today's coverage of the IHSA Girls Singles Tennis Championship is proudly presented by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And by Country Companies Insurance. When it matters most, the country's behind you. Welcome to Prospect High School, the site, as always, for the IHSA Girls Singles Tennis Championship as we determine a state champion for the year of 1998. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Blaney, and the IHSA certainly made out like a bandit on the weather today. In past years, the weather's been a little iffy for this thing, and we've had to move it inside, but we're outside and ready to go for today's championship match. And joining me for the action is Corky Layton, tennis coach at Lake Forest High School. And Corky, we've played 3 days worth of tennis, hundreds of matches, but here we get to the final. It's number 1 versus number 2.
Yes, Margaret Purcell and Chrissy Nolan have had a tremendous tournament, and I think that we're going to see a battle of two great baseline sluggers here.
These two have met one previous time this season. As we take a look at the records of the two players coming into this match, there was only one loss on the side of Margaret Purcell, and it was to Chrissy Nolan.
Yeah, that was a very close match. With 3-setter, played in the New Trier Invitational. It was very tough. Chrissy would just end up on top.
As we take a little look at the players warming up prior to the match, we all know that every player in any sport has their weakness, the chink in their armor. Where are the places where these two players are going to try and attack each other and win this match?
Well, I think the big thing we're looking for here is Chrissy Nolan has a huge forehand, and she's going to try to set up situations where she can just exploit that. Margaret Purcell is a very well-conditioned athlete, and I think she's going to try to run Chrissy around as much as possible and try to tie her out and prevent her from using that forehand.
When we come back after this timeout, we'll have the opening serve in the 1998 IHSA Girls Singles Tennis Championship.
Illinois High School State Championship coverage is proudly presented by Pepsi, Generation Next, Country Companies Insurance. When it matters most, the country's behind you. And by Dominick's, the fresh store.
Welcome back to Prospect High School, the Illinois High School Association Girls Singles Tennis Championship. Weather absolutely beautiful, and we're ready to go. So let's get a look at the opening serve. Margaret Purcell will serve to Chrissy Nolan. Corky, an indication of what we're going to see in this match.
Absolutely.
Both
we're going to
players
see
slugging it out from the baseline.
We're going to see a lot of long points trying to jockey each other around. That time Chrissy Nolan just missing wide.
And we'll give you a little background on their semifinal matches in a moment. Well, I guess we can safely say that the first break of the match definitely goes to Chrissy Nolan.
All right,
She
lucky lead cord there.
had the tail of the tape on this one.
Yeah, working the point around, and Margaret drives this ball. Chrissy tries to go down the line again, catches the top of the net, drops in.
Second serve upcoming. Margaret Purcell really missed a chance to put that point away, didn't she, Corky?
What a point. She worked the point around all over the place. Margaret had Chrissy on the run and then just missed a chance. She had a wide open court here for the overhead, hit it down the middle instead of angling it off. Chrissy put the ball back, and then Margaret hit it too wide. Well, there's an unforced error. Chrissy had a wide open court there. The ball in the net.
Chrissy Nolan comes in, trying to win yet another state championship. Looked like Purcell got worn down to some extent on that point, Corky.
Yeah,
It
well,
lasted
she was
so long and she did so much work.
She was breathing pretty hard right now. I think she tried a drop shot and just missed the ball there. Mishit the ball. Oh, Nolan let that one go thinking it was going out. But there's just a little bit of wind here, enough to hold it in, and it stayed in.
So a missed break opportunity for Nolan in the first game.
Oh, that's just lazy.
Boy, what a great
Unforced error. Unforced error. Easy second, easy first serve.
Great chance for recovery now for Purcell. Still second serve.
Well, that was in down the line.
Well, Margaret Purcell was facing a break point against her and came back and ends up taking the first game.
Yeah, she did a great job in that last point. She used the wind to her advantage, hit that ball down the line and curved it right in. Chrissy Nolan didn't expect it to stay in, didn't even try for it.
Let's take a look at how Chrissy Nolan made it to this championship match, of which she has become a fixture in during the last few years in IHSA girls tennis. And she had want to compare the matches that they had, Corky, in the semifinals, because Chrissy Nolan had a very quick match, even though she faced a power player. And I wonder if that maybe doesn't work to her advantage, even though she made her way through that tough match and didn't have to expend as much energy, I don't think, as Purcell did.
I think the points that Purcell played in her match may work in her favor in terms of experience, though, because it's more similar to the kind of match she's going to have to play against Nolan. So
We'll see.
And that's a very good point, because Purcell in her semifinal match played another baseline player, and it was a slug-it-out match. But it's more in tune with the style that this match is going to be. So I think that's a very good point, Corky.
Yeah, I think we're looking for a very long match here. These girls are going to constantly work, especially the first 4 or 5 games. The girls are trying to feel each other out, see what sort of maybe hidden secrets they might have that they haven't seen before, but they know they've got their work cut out for them. This is going to be a real physical battle.
Margaret Purcell from Wake Forest High School. Take a look at the path that she followed to get into this championship match, and she will try and avenge her lone loss of the year in IHSA girls tennis. She's been very efficient in moving her way through, and includes a straight set victory in the semifinals.
All right, good first serve by Chrissy Nolan. Margaret Purcell dumps a forehand in the net. Long. Again, you'll notice a difference in style. Margaret Purcell using a lot of topspin on her ground strokes, and Chrissy Nolan hitting the ball fairly flat, so she's got to hit a lot lower over the net.
30 love.
And Purcell sails a backhand long, a little bit out of position on that one, overhit the ball.
And now the missed break opportunity in the first game looms a little large for Chrissy Nolan, because she's been so efficient with her service game in this game.
There's the wind again. That time the wind got behind. The wind is swirling around and changing directions a little bit here. And I think it caught Chrissy by surprise when it gusted. She threw that lob up there and got blown long.
.40-15, second serve coming in. As you look at your screen, the wind is blowing from the bottom of the screen to the top.
Chrissy Nolan working that point with her forehand, that inside-out forehand, driving away at Margaret Purcell's backhand, and again using the wind a little bit, curved it away from her that time.
And so we stay on serve here in the opening set. Chrissy Nolan, that looked like a matter of just when Margaret Purcell thought where the ball was going to go, the next time it came back, Chrissy Nolan came right back into the corner with it.
Yeah, she's reading, yeah. She's anticipating really well. But that's what she wants to do, set up so she can hit lots of forehands, and Purcell's going to keep running the ball down.
Bit of
That
a break
was a little
there.
long.
Yeah, I was going to say a bit of a break for Purcell there.
Right, she was out of position. Again, there's a little bit of wind here, and with a flat ball, it's kind of hard to control it. Not quite. Nolan drove Purcell off the court that time. Couldn't quite bring it back inside the line. The wind didn't work for her that time.
30-15.
We have Chrissy working the ball around. Margaret stuck in the corner. Side to side. Here's the ball that pulls her out of position. She can't make it down the line.
Second serve coming up. So far, Chrissy Nolan is making Margaret Purcell do a lot of work.
Wide open court, and Purcell nets the ball. Again, they're working each other all over the court, looking for the slightest opening, and that was a missed opportunity by Purcell.
15-30. Very aggressive point by Margaret Purcell. She really needed that too.
Yeah, she worked the point into the corner, pulled Nolan off, and had a chance to end it. Here she's pulling her off with that wide ball. Coming in right away, hitting behind her there, and then able to angle off the overhead. Nolan had no chance.
Saw Purcell start creeping in toward the net that time too. The first time we've really seen either player do that this match.
They're looking for any edge, and I think because of the way the wind's affecting the ball, they're trying to play that.
30-30.
Cut it a little too close that time. Nolan hit the ball back. Purcell topped it into the net.
And again, a break opportunity for Chrissy Nolan. Second time she's had a shot at it in this first set. Couldn't follow through on it in the first game. Chrissy Nolan's in a pretty good spot.
Looking at a second serve. That's where she wants to be. Okay, the wind kicked up a little bit there right at the end of the point again, and Purcell hit the ball long. The wind screens protect the ball pretty well while it's below 12 feet, but once it gets up high, it's going to sail.
And at that particular point, Corky, the wind came up almost as soon as Purcell went into her serve, and it really looked like it held the ball up enough and really made it easy for Chrissy Nolan to get control of the point. And a break point for Nolan now. 2-1 in the first.
That's right. First service break of the match. Sometimes the girls are looking for the service at the return game so that they get a chance to see a short ball, because sometimes it's the only short ball they're going to see during the course of the game. A few cool mornings, but for the most part it's been beautiful, just like this.
How much of a factor does it become, fatigue, Corky, in these championship matches when you played so many matches over the course of 3 days?
These girls are well-conditioned tournament players. I think they're used to this kind of an atmosphere. They've been here before. I've been talking to the trainers and coaches of both players, and they say that they're ready to go.
Margaret Purcell down a break here in the first set, being aggressive on that point and losing the point because she hit it long.
She had a nice approach shot, but Nolan got that ball way up in the air. Just missed the open. Okay, Purcell pulled Nolan off the court that time. Nolan trying to pull it back, hit it in the net again. She's got to cut that shot very close just to keep herself in the point.
15-15. second unforced error in a row.
And Nolan going for that big forehand, trying to end it. She looked like she was running out of gas there at the end of that rally, but nonetheless in the middle of the net.
15-30.
There's an unforced error on the serve. I mean, it was a deep serve, but Purcell's going to have to put that back in play if she wants to get back to even in this match.
30-all. Yeah, that was one of those. Sure, Margaret Purcell. She's got to let it go, but obviously, boy, that would really been nice to have.
Yeah, these players are very intense, violent, concentration as much as anything else. Okay, Purcell overtopped that ball. She had Nolan off the court looking for a chance to open up the court with a short angle, and just overtopped it in the net.
Chrissy Nolan now a chance to go at 3-1, 40-30. We have seen just a spate of unforced errors in this game.
This is interesting. Nolan, as I said before, hits the ball really flat. Purcell is running her all over the court. Finally feels that she has an opening and hits the ball in the net. Hard to get net clearance with the ball that flat in this kind of way. There's another unforced error. Flat forehand in the net.
Margaret Purcell has battled her way back to where now she has a chance at a break point. Get the match back on serve.
Okay, there's the wind again. Nolan was there, but hit the ball up a little too high. The wind caught it and brought it straight down the other side of the net. So Purcell breaks.
After both players held serve in their opening service game, we've now seen each player break back.
Let's see if we find a trend here. It may have something to do with the wind.
Yeah. That return by Chrissy Nolan never had a chance.
Yep. Watch that ball curve down the line in the wind. The wind has a big factor on that one side.
Love 15. Corky, is it, if you're going into the wind as Nolan is now, are you better off being aggressive and trying to make something happen rather than...
She can afford to hit the ball a little bit harder. Again, with a player like Purcell who's so quick getting around the court, it's tough to find an opening to take advantage of. But definitely, you'd like to try to force the play a little bit. Get the other person on the defense and throw it up. Get him to throw it up in the air.
Margaret Purcell really had nowhere to go after that.
They worked each other around the court really well that time, and then Purcell got that short ball and hooked it a little bit too much to the middle, mixing up the pace here, getting her short ball, and then just kind of lost her balance, hit the ball too close to the middle. And there's Nolan using that wind to curve the ball in down the line.
Any ball coming right up the left line is coming right at us. You can see it bend a good foot most of the time.
Oh, yeah. And there's where it blows out, going the other way.
Yeah, you could clearly see on that when the wind just got a hold of it. Just took it well wide of the line.
Right.
Wasn't even close.
Right. There aren't wind screens on the side, so the side component of the wind has a big factor. Okay, well, here's the serve. Down line, Margaret Purcell tries to pull across court, gets it up a little high, and the wind takes it out.
15-30. And Back to 30 all.
And there Nolan's victimized by the wind. She had a clear opening down the line, but couldn't cut it that close with this kind of wind.
Let me correct myself, 1540.
Okay, again, there's Chrissy Nolan again hits the ball so flat that it's hard for her to bring it down when she hits the ball hard. She's got to keep the ball low if she wants to keep it in, and then she's risking hitting the ball in the net.
Someone got the impression that Chrissy Nolan really wanted that game because she's back up a break now here in the first set.
Yeah, she's a little lucky there. She kind of mishit the volley, popped it up too high, and Purcell overtopped it in the net.
The broadcast rights for the Illinois High School Association Girls Tennis Championships have been granted to Fox Sports Chicago and Intersport Television by the Illinois High School Association, and the unauthorized reproduction or rebroadcast of this event is prohibited. Well, if our win theory is going to hold up, we would have to have a run of games won by Margaret Purcell.
Well, that's what our win theory would say. Let's hope that the wind dies down so the girls can play tennis. They don't have to fight the wind.
Net court. Love 15.
Too bad. Again, the wind had an effect on Nolan's ball. Again, she's hitting the ball fairly flat. The wind tends to favor the person that can use spin better. Nolan comes around this one, and it's just wide.
Love 30.
Purcell's using a lot of topspin. If she's going to use that much topspin, she's got to get the ball up and take a nosedive there at the end.
Because the wind's just going to knock it right down, right?
Going to knock it down, absolutely. There's another topspin backhand in the net, overtopping the ball. The wind's blowing in her face a little bit, and it's hard for her to time her swing. Here's Nolan driving the ball to Purcell, and there it goes in the net. Just too much topspin.
30 all.
Depth on that shot by Nolan. That's what got Purcell off guard. All the lift in the world wasn't going to help her there.
Well, Chrissy Nolan has a chance here to end the run of service breaks we've had going here. Not so fast.
Well, back and forth, working each other around the court. Nolan nets a backhand again. She's got to keep that ball fairly low to make up for the fact that she's hitting it so flat, although she is taking the ball on the rise, and that's another great idea when you're playing in the wind because the ball straightens out a little more. Nolan going for the open court on the backhand cross court, and the wind got behind it a little bit. It sailed.
So a break point for Margaret Purcell.
Now Purcell lost her footing on that one, spun around a little bit. Good depth by Nolan.
Back to deuce we go. Seems like they're getting a little better handle on how to handle the wind here as we go
Yeah, I think
along.
they're getting a feel for it. That time there was no wind to pull the ball into the court for Margaret Purcell. She had a good idea to go down the line. She caught Nolan with the second serve, but mishit the shot.
Advantage Nolan. Trying to go up 4-2 here in the first set.
Barely long. Chrissy Nolan thought that one might drop in, but the wind carried it out.
And it took an awfully long time for the ball to come down,
Yeah,
too.
it did. It did. The wind made it dance around. Well, I mentioned before about taking the ball in the rise. When the ball bounces up off the court, it's moving in a fairly straight, at least straighter line when the wind gets a chance to affect it at the top. And Chrissy does that pretty routinely. Sailed long. Again, open court, but forced the shot a little bit. Sailed it out.
15 love.
Well, there's a down the line that stayed in. Wind couldn't affect that one. Purcell took that ball on the rise and just stepped up and cracked it down the line.
And as we've been saying, if you can keep it low, it's
Right.
going to stay pretty true, and that one certainly did.
And she did, right.
30 love. To me, it seems the hardest shot is if you're in the court closest to us and you have to hit a lob, because then you have no idea how much the wind's going to get.
Because the wind is gusty, it's coming up and down. And that ball is just too short. Chrissy Nolan teed off on a forehand. Margaret Purcell just hit the ball way too short.
30-15.
Here it is. Margaret's pulled way out of position. Boom, away. Flat, a little too hard. Sailed it long. Purcell worked Nolan around the court pretty well that time.
Conversely, if you have to lob from the far court toward where we are sitting, the ball hangs up and then makes
Drops it short.
exactly makes it easy for the opponent to figure out what they want to do with it. Sure.
Okay. Well, there's Purcell getting under the ball. Nolan forced her, lifted the ball up in the air, and just sailed out.
40-30. A lot of these fans here today have the blankets out. If you're sitting in the shade, you're certainly going to need it.
Yeah. This wind's certainly cooling things down. too low that time. The forehand before cleared the net by about 1.5 inches, and that time Nolan just dumped the backhand in the middle of the net.
Nolan's still up a break here in the first set, 4-3. And it just seems, Corky, that there's just such a disparity between how you have to hit the ball if you're lobbing it and putting it up in the air to how you have to hit it if you're just trying to go up the line and hit a winner. It's hardcore football on Fox Sports Chicago. Ronnie Lott, Bill Moss, and Ron Pitts show the real NFL. Hardcore X's and O's, hardcore blood, sweat, and tears, hardcore football for the hardcore fan. It's hardcore football Thursday evenings at 8 right here on Fox Sports Chicago. We saw in that game where Margaret Purcell decided to just hit a laser up the line, and it had no trouble holding its line. And anytime the ball goes up in the air, it's a bit of an adventure.
Yeah, getting a little advice and some tape here from her coach, Robert Wagman. Margaret's certainly rethinking her game plan a little bit. I'm sure she had something going in to prepare her to play against Chrissy Nolan, but I'm not sure if she took the wind into consideration when she worked on that game plan. And now that she's down a break, she really has a test in front of her. This match is still very close, but you know, she's definitely behind enough that she's concerned.
Chrissy Nolan said after winning her sectional last week that she really considered herself lucky that she's had so much success in the state tournament. And at first I saw that quote and I thought, well, she was either being gracious or not expressing her true feelings. But when you have a run like she has had in state championship play, that is true. You do have to have a little bit of luck on your side because there are so many good players and there are so many factors that you can't control, such as the win today, where when you have won multiple state titles, you do have to account a little bit of it to luck, but make no mistake, there's a lot of skill involved too.
Absolutely. Chrissy Nolan is a very skilled athlete, again, very well trained, much better condition this year than she was in last year. The finals last year, her back was against the wall several times.
Unforced errors so far in the match. Running about even, and I have to say that they're classified as unforced, but the wind had something to do with them.
Unforced by the wind.
Big category, yeah. Margaret Purcell has shown an ability when she's given the opening. She can take it and find it.
She's looking to set up short balls so that she can attack Chrissy Nolan when she gets her out of position, because Chrissy a lot of times doesn't recover real well.
Love 15.
Tough shot to do. Tough to hit that drop shot in the wind. Or Purcell got a little too cute that time.
Yeah, and especially with the situation being up a point and down a break.
Very cautious here. Nolan going down the line again. Had trouble controlling that flat backhand. Had trouble controlling the ball. She's got to take that ball right at the top of the bouncer. It's going to get away from her in this wind. Big gust of wind there. Margaret Purcell went the wrong way.
Almost exactly as what we saw on Love 15, Corky, where Purcell may be getting a little bit over aggressive.
Yeah, she's trying to get back into this match by playing aggressive tennis, and she's making unforced errors. She could have gone either way with that shot, but sensing the wind, she should have gone the other way.
Right idea, but just not the right time and place.
Right.
30 all.
Well,
Purcell got away with one there. She barely got that last backhand over the net. Surprised Nolan a little bit. And on the short ball, Purcell was able to go down the line, catch Nolan off guard.
You have to like the gumption, though. After two unsuccessful attempts with a fairly similar shot, she came back to it again and got it that time.
Well, I think she knows that what she's trying to do is right. She's just got to execute better.
She's a break point away from getting back on serve.
Good players under pressure are phenomenal. let that one drop again. Flat into the net. All tied up.
We've gone back and forth here in the opening set. 4 games apiece. And Purcell serving now.
There's that flat forehand. Win. Just carried it long. Hard to hit that ball on the fly in the wind. Margaret Purcell was in the air, and that ball changed directions while she was off her feet. Usually in the wind, you'd like to stay on the ground if you can. Okay, here's the lob by Nolan. Purcell nicks the ball off the top of the racket, sails over the fence on the fly.
Love 15.
But she had a wide open court. Purcell created the opening by pulling Nolan off the court. When Nolan popped the ball at that time, instead of taking an overhead, she takes this as a high volley. Here comes the lob. Purcell moves in. Nice solid, watches the ball, punches it to the other side.
Very patient on that one.
Yeah. Well, this wind is tricky. Big weapon, deserting her.
Margaret Purcell, a little bit of a chance here to take some control. Nice aggressive play by Chrissy Nolan. Wow.
There's that shot she's been missing. Got a little bit more topspin on that backhand. Kept it in down the line that time. Good depth, wide open court. Okay. Serve pulls Purcell over. It's the short ball she's looking for. Steps in, cranks.
40-30. Second serve.
Wide open court. Purcell misses top of the net. For the finals, the girls are playing with single sticks, which raises the height of the net on the side by about 3 or 4 inches above what they're used to playing with.
Net serve. You see the sticks just inside the doubles alley.
That one sailed long. Chrissy Nolan a little too flat on that one. Good power, but just too high and too flat. Ball sailed out.
There are the sticks that Corky was speaking of.
They raised the net to 3 feet 6 inches. On the sides of the singles court.
Well, Margaret Purcell up now at 5-4. We're still on serve.
Oh, a little off balance on that return. Hit the ball in the middle of the net again.
Still get the impression, Corky, that when the players are in the far court, they're somewhat indecisive on what they want to do.
The wind, I think, is having a bigger effect on that side, and I think they're, you know, they get an idea of what they want to do, and all of a sudden the wind's going to change their decision. There's a shot of Scott Greenspan and Chrissy Nolan talking it over.
Nobody covers Chicago's home teams like Chet Kopic, and when he's paired with Norm Van Leer, Doug Buffone, and our new analyst Troy Murray, you've got one unbeatable team. Catch the Game Room weeknights at 7 or before the game only on Fox Sports Chicago. Doug's still looking good. Troy Murray just a couple of years removed from winning a Stanley Cup. 5-4, Margaret Purcell.
Weather's still beautiful and clear. But there's Scott Greenspan and Chrissy Nolan. talking it over, trying to figure out what to do here.
Check my strategy here, Corky, because if I'm in that far court, it would seem to me that if you can get the ball up in the air coming back, you're giving your opponent way too much time to make a decision on where they want to go to it. So you need to absolutely keep it low to really have a chance of winning a point when you're over there.
And if you combine that with the fact that these girls are trying to work each other around the court, you can see how complicated it is to consider that wind as a factor.
Do you, in the far court, you have to quit trying to do that and just maybe be aggressive and try and hit winners?
I think at this stage of the game, these girls aren't going to change their games all that much. You know, they know how they want to play each other, and they're just going to try to figure out the win the best they can. Margaret Purcell needed a little more topspin if she was going to get that ball up that high that time. And I think the biggest problem the girls have is when they first change sides, adjusting to that far side.
As we have done here, 15 love. Saw how long the ball hung up there.
Yeah, really knocked it down once it got up there.
Yeah, that was a really good shot there.
Nice step.
Especially with the wind.
Oh, and the wind held that one in for Margaret Purcell. There's the lob winner. Chrissy Nolan did a great job of setting the point up with a deep approach shot. But Purcell's able to counter, and this lob just gets knocked down by the wind. Probably would have gone out by 3 or 4 feet without the wind. But they're learning to play the wind. They're learning to play the conditions here.
15 all.
That flat forehand, she wanted the angle. It's hard to get it without any spin.
15-30.
Just a little bit long. Back and forth from offense to defense. Yeah, look at that ball curve.
Well, I thought Margaret Purcell showed some great restraint during that point, Corky, because there are times where she maybe could have taken a chance, but with the opportunity that now presents her at 15-40, she has got a great chance here in the opening set.
Well, you can tell when you get close to the end of the set because these girls really pull it in and they make sure they don't make any unforced errors.
Second serve and a set point for Purcell.
Margaret Purcell deep into the corner, got the ball short in the middle where she wanted it, and then drove that backhand cross court. Driving her into the corner. Here's Purcell reaching for the ball, but it's short. Nolan on the run, gets the shot she's looking for. Great anticipation, great execution.
I have the feeling if Purcell would have had a clear chance at a winner, they should have gone for a double set point.
Yeah. She's conserving her energy. Better shot. Well, chance there.
Deuce now.
Nolan's back's against the wall, and she hits a winner. That's a great shot.
Well, that's why they're here, playing in this match, I guess.
Well, Purcell's shot was a little short again. Maybe she played a little too conservatively, and Nolan took that ball in the rise and just drilled it down the line. Purcell that time. She just hit that inside-out forehand and pulled Purcell off the court. And then when she gets the second opportunity, she hits the ball in the net. Here she is pulling Purcell off the court. Short ball move in, going for the same shot. Not too bad, too low.
Set point again for Purcell.
Great serve.
Back to deuce.
Between the two players, Chrissy Nolan definitely has the strongest first serve and can win some points with it, but once you get to the second serve, it's pretty much a toss-up. She also misses more. That ball curve. Great touch by Chrissy Nolan. Took a chance hitting that drop shot. Barely cleared the net, but caught Margaret Purcell enough by surprise. Barely clears the net there on the forehand. Here's the drop shot. Purcell sees it coming, but gets there too late.
I think excuse me, Cork. I think Margaret Purcell also figured out in that far court that you just can't try and hit a laser over the net from the baseline. You've got to put it in there.
That's right. She's trying to use that to create the depth she gets on the court here. Not obliging her by hitting it really short.
Plus the fact that the lob, you got to drive it so far back there.
Yep.
It's advantage Nolan at this point.
Chrissy Nolan just broke the string. We'll see what happens here. The ball solid. The string's broken. She's definitely distracted by the fact that she broke that string. Didn't even make an attempt on that last ball. Again, good hustle. Way to move the ball around. But Chrissy Nolan broke the string. She kind of lost her heart on this point. She knew she couldn't drive Margaret Purcell off the court. She's changed rackets now. She's back on the court.
Deuce in what has turned into a somewhat of an epic 10th game here in the first set.
Well, it's on the line here. Both girls know it. Neither one of them wants to let it get away. It's fairly long in that first serve. Set that point up by using that inside-out forehand, the shot that she really loves, and then ended up winning it with that cross-court volley. She is inside out, and there's the volley. Not much of a chance.
Advantage Nolan.
Okay, Purcell pulled Nolan really wide on that one. Little oomph Nolan put on her backhand, sailed it wide.
Margaret Purcell battling in this game because she was the first one to fall behind a break in this first set.
She's really moved the ball around the floor herself back into this match. Nolan made a few errors, but it's a battle.
Advantage Nolan again.
Okay, Nolan going into that corner. The wind's giving her a little bit of an assist, but she's pounding on Purcell's backhand over there. She likes to hit the forehand and the backhand into that corner to pull Purcell off the court.
Saw the funny bounce right before Purcell went to hit it.
Yeah,
that was
little
caused by
spin
the
on
wind.
that ball.
Yeah.
Yep. Purcell went for the opening down the line.
And Chrissy Nolan battles back from 2 break points against her to take the 10th game. Not the match at 5 apiece. First set. Now we're in for a long one here in the first set. I think that was somewhat what had to be running through Margaret Purcell's mind. It's, boy, if I could just get this break, get this first set.
I'm sure she pushed a little bit on that last shot. Uncharacteristic.
Chrissy Nolan now turning the aggressor.
Okay, I think she's found a little niche over there in the corner where she thinks she can control the ball both with her backhand and forehand and pull Purcell out of position to create openings where she can then end the point like she did with that forehand volley.
Love 15.
Oh, now there she's going to her favorite spot again, but just missed. Wind got under it a little bit, sailed it wide.
And unfortunately for Chrissy Nolan, that is her favorite spot, but that's also the hardest spot to hit with the way the wind is blowing.
That's right. That's why they have to have a real good feel for this wind. They've spent the better part of the last 10 games trying to figure it out. They should put a wind sock on the net post.
Are we seeing a change in strategy from Chrissy Nolan, Corky, or is that just an example of her taking what was given to her early in that point?
I think that she's going to play a little bit more aggressively now that she doesn't have to risk losing the set. Okay, I don't think it's any change from her basic game plan. She wanted to be the aggressor in this match, and Purcell was going to be the counterpuncher. But now she's just a little looser.
And she can afford to be it. Love 30.
Purcell over top of that ball. She's trying to come back into the court before she finishes a swing. Again, Nolan's relentlessly pounding on her backhand. I don't know if she's figured something out or she just likes that corner.
Love 40.
There's an unforced error from Chrissy Nolan. Oh, there's that wind again.
Exactly.
Pops the ball up in the air. Chrissy uses that little underspin shot to change the pace, and Margaret came over it a little bit too much. Here's that little underspin shot. Margaret comes over a little too much, hits the net, goes up, and it's at the mercy of the wind now. Drops on the wrong side.
Chrissy Nolan breaks. She leads 6-5 in the first set. Fox Sports Chicago.
Margaret Purcell didn't put enough on that approach shot. Chrissy Nolan just blew the ball by her before she could get in. Nice forehand by Nolan.
15 love. Service breaks have been the theme here in the opening set. But if Nolan can win her service game here, she'll take the first set.
Big serve from Chrissy Nolan, but just wide.
Really amazing how things have ebbed and flowed during this first set, because early in the set, Margaret Purcell was a bit on her heels and then came back and actually had the lead in the set. Now it appears things have shifted back to Chrissy Nolan. 30 love.
I know Nolan likes to be in the lead so that she can be more aggressive, so she's more comfortable now. Purcell's trying to find, oh, there's that net, top of the net again.
Although the amazing thing is, Corky, is Chrissy Nolan looked like she was handling things pretty well when she was behind, too.
Yep. Hitting the ball solidly, just missing the court. There's that big serve, first serve from Nolan. A little bit wind aided. Got a little extra spin on that ball. Purcell had trouble handling it, dumped it in the net.
Three chances for Chrissy Nolan, but check that, make that 2, 40-15. Serving for the set.
Okay, rushed that one a little bit. Pretty deep ball from Margaret Purcell for Chrissy Nolan to try on a cross court that sharp.
We saw Chrissy Nolan battle the entire last game. Now it's Margaret Purcell's turn.
I don't know. Margaret lost her concentration there. She didn't get the ball over the net.
Certainly wishes she had that one back, because that was not the kind of point you want to lose the first set on. So Chrissy Nolan takes the first set 7-5.
See how that changes the strategy for Purcell and the second set. Nolan definitely in charge at that point. Ripping forehands from side to side and then using the drop shot. Purcell's off the court. There's a short ball in the drop shot. Purcell can't quite get there. On now. Chrissy hits the ball flat in the middle of the net again. She's got to get some more height if she wants to get that ball over.
15-0.
Okay, Nolan again in control, but off balance at that backhand in the net. Purcell running down everything, trying to keep it as deep as she can. Here's Purcell, corner to corner, almost out. Purcell back again. Nolan kind of on their back foot, pushes that ball, spins out of it, goes in the net. Lob that gets knocked down by that wind. point of the match there. Both girls battling side to side, slugging their ground strokes. Finally, Chrissy Nolan misses one wide. Here's Margaret Purcell just barely able to get to that overhead in the wind. Back, taps a volley. Nolan running across, and just wide. What a point. Nolan misses wide, coming in playing aggressive, but misses wide.
So Margaret Purcell, after dropping the opening set, comes back and wins the first game of set number 2. It's the problem with the wind is the fact that it hasn't been consistent. I think anytime one of these players kind of gets the feeling, okay, here's what I need to do, then all of a sudden it starts gusting and swirling a little bit, and then the problems crop back up, because for a while there, even during the middle of that point, Chrissy Nolan had just decided, all right, I'm just going to keep lobbing the ball back here, and she's got to lob it back, and eventually she'll hit it long, and Margaret Purcell never did.
Yeah, they've got to they got to have 4 or 5 different sets of shots. I mean, they're in control for a while, then all of a sudden the wind changes and then they're out of control. They try the same thing for a while, and they just have to sense the wind, and like you said, it's gusting. It's tough, Jim. These girls are working their hearts out there, and unfortunately this wind is as big of a factor as their strategies or their execution.
Our stats man just pulled out his calculator between sets. That's the biggest calculator I think I've ever seen. I think it's a little different than the TI-30 I used when I was in high school. It probably does a few more things too.
I think you can retract satellites with this.
Here are the stats from the opening set, and Purcell clearly with the advantage in first serve percentage, but as you look up and down the numbers, really it shows you how close that opening set was, and everything just turned in that 10th game.
Really did. It was very close, back to back all the way. Very, very little difference in the errors or winners. Okay. Again, Chrissy Nolan going for it. She had a short backhand and tried to tee off on it. Got under it and sailed. Purcell comes over it a little too much and puts the ball on the top of the net there.
15-0.
The wind appears to be moving. Well, now it's dying down again. I was going to say it kicked up, but it looks like it's dying down again.
Also feels like it's moving a little bit around towards coming left to right more as you look at your TV screen.
There. The lob that Purcell hit, I'm sure she thought that Nolan was going to let go. This lob almost gets blown wide. Purcell stopped running and just barely taps this one back, and Nolan ends it.
30-15. Looks like Purcell was a little bit fooled by where that serve went to, and then Nolan commits the unforced error.
The wind blew it in.
If you want to break it down, Nolan was the winner of the quiet semifinal, and Purcell was the winner of the loud one.
Yeah. Interesting watching the different game styles in the semis.
See the frustration from Chrissy Nolan. It's a shot she knows she can make and just hasn't been able to seem to get it right consistently today.
She's been setting that shot up all day long, and she's won several games because of it. Chrissy's lost track of where she is in the game. She's okay.
Break point for Purcell.
Second ball netted it. First error, there's a concentration lapse by Chrissy Nolan.
Well, Margaret Purcell certainly has to like her situation now. Up a break, second set.
Well, I know part of her strategy going in was to tire Nolan out, because she does expend a lot of energy trying to hit the ball hard. And Purcell considers herself in shape. Maybe we're starting to see some signs of it now. Making some of the worst errors before she's getting tired. That's an incredible point.
Saw a few changes of momentum on that one, didn't we?
That's right, back and forth all of a sudden. A lot of mishits. I think, again, that's caused by the wind. It's hard to hear them during the points, but a lot of these balls are coming off part string and part frame. Nolan working the ball around, finally hits to the open court. Just Purcell going the wrong way.
Love 15. That one's trouble.
Yeah, it's blowing off the court. Oh, there's another mishit. Purcell intended to come in and take that ball in the rise and jumped a little too soon. Ball off the frame.
Nobody can seem to grab this match by the throat. Here we have Purcell up a break, serving, and she's down love 30 in this game.
I think part of the problem with this wind is that the girls are having trouble finding a groove. Wind is on both sides, but it's you never know when it's going to kick up.
And I know you don't like, no one likes to change their strategy when you get this late in the game, but it almost seems that if somebody can pick some spots to be aggressive, they might be able to do a little bit of control with it.
There, all of a sudden, there was no wind, and Purcell shot sails wide because there was no wind.
Chrissy Nolan breaks back, and now she has a chance to serve and tie up the second set.
You wonder what kind of advice Chrissy's coach, Scott Greenspan, is going to give her now about the conditions here.
She has certainly battled in this match, and Margaret Purcell, boy, that's the second time she's had a huge opportunity to really get control of this match, and it's just slipped away from her.
You know, Chrissy went on the offense this time, didn't miss. And there, that one sails wide. There was just no wind behind it at all. It just kind of went in front of it. It just flew wide. You know, they set up, they've grooved their shots. They know what they want to hit, and all of a sudden the conditions change, and it's constantly unfair to both opponents.
And the thing is, you get to this point, and I guess this is where coaching and preparedness comes in, is you have to help your player to make the adjustments that they might feel are necessary. But as you said earlier, Corky, you don't want to get them away from doing what makes them so successful.
Right, and they don't, I mean, there has been wind during the season, but, you know, maybe they haven't had a chance to practice in the wind. Sometimes if it gets too windy, the teams will cancel practice or go indoors. It's been such a great fall season for all the teams that some of the days when they've had bad weather, they've shortened their practices, and here's a day where they need to work in the wind, and they probably, I'm sure a lot of the girls haven't had practice working in this, and it's not like you can create a wind factory to practice your wind shots.
You just have to let the top two players in the state go just a little bit too. They wouldn't be here if they weren't able to adjust.
Absolutely.
seen both players anywhere close to the net at the same point.
Well, that time, Chrissy used the drop shot, caught Margaret Purcell a little bit off guard here. Margaret was trying to angle Chrissy wide, and Margaret not quite ready for that one, and punches the ball out wide.
15 love. And then when the wind stops, as it did there for a second, it almost gets warm out here.
Yeah. Oh, there's a double fault for Chrissy Nolan. There's hard-fought points here, and some points that just make no sense at all.
And I at least in the case of many unforced errors, I think that's the players are still trying to hit their shots in spite of the fact that the wind is such a factor.
Yep. Okay, Chrissy Nolan guessed right. Margaret Purcell had a choice on that short ball to go either cross-court or down the line. She chose down the line, and Chrissy guessed the right way. It's Chrissy Nolan at the net with the short ball. Purcell decides to go down the line. Nolan guesses, taps it back.
Chrissy Nolan has gone to the net in each of the last 2 points.
If she can get a short ball, she's definitely going to try to be the aggressor. She doesn't want to stay out here in the third set with Margaret Purcell. Oh, and there's a wind-aided bad bounce. Margaret Purcell off balance, missed the ball completely.
Let's see if we can get a look at.
She's all set to hit her shot, and then the wind just pulls the string. No chance. That's the advantage again of taking that ball on the rise. If you let that ball drop, it can go anywhere. Running Nolan all over the court that time and finally getting her wide enough that Nolan can't get a good racket on that last forehand. Hits it in the net.
40-30.
Oh, what a good leap by Margaret Purcell. I think Chrissy Nolan thought that ball was overhead, and at the last second, Margaret Purcell jumps up and taps it with a backhand, angles it into the court for a winner.
Chrissy Nolan
Here it
had
is.
that point
Good
of the board.
leap. Boom. Air Purcell. Oh, there's an unforced error. It seems like the intensity levels tend to rise and fall very quickly. Margaret Purcell just had a great point, and all of a sudden, this is the return serve on the next shot.
Advantage Nolan. Margaret Purcell, Wake Forest High School. Chrissy Nolan from Glenbrook South.
Oh, and the wind took it wide.
Chrissy Nolan takes the 4th game in set number 2, and after falling behind 2 sets to love here in the 2nd set, Chrissy Nolan has battled her way back.
Well, on that point, Margaret Purcell just ran Chrissy Nolan all over the court and then just barely missed it. Again, the wind pulled the ball wide at the end.
Margaret Purcell distracted a bit there.
Line judge was getting
Right.
settled. Oh, and there's the wind again. Chrissy Nolan mishits a backhand, took it on the rise, but in the air, the wind took it out.
15 love.
Pop.
That thing just took off.
There, Chrissy Nolan couldn't get back in time. Big forehand cross court from Margaret Purcell. Short, wide angle. Nolan down the line. Purcell cross court. Nolan can't get back.
30 love.
Oh, and she missed the line. Again, the wind.
After we saw the momentum in this set, start out with Margaret Purcell, go back to Chrissy Nolan. Now it seems to have swung back over in Margaret Purcell's favor.
I think Nolan's concentration is starting to waver a little bit again. She's got to keep her focus if she wants to stay in control of this match.
Her concentration is fine when she's behind, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she works great.
Pop.
She has battled back from 2 big holes already in this match.
Well, Purcell really anticipated that drop shot. That's the one danger of hitting that drop shot from back at the baseline. It's just in the air for way too long. Here comes the drop shot. I think the whole crowd saw this one coming, and Purcell was on the run. Rips it into the corner for a winner.
And for a 3-2 advantage for Margaret Purcell, although she is down 1 set here in the girls singles final for 1998. Due to the length of this match, we now pick it up later in the set.
Side lob. There.
Second time was the charm.
Okay, Purcell moving the ball around the court here. Nolan just barely saves it. Nice high lob. Purcell tries to take it as a backhand.
15 love.
Top of the net again. Missing by Purcell. Nice deep shot by Nolan, running Purcell all over the court. Margaret Purcell just mishits the forehand.
Seemed too, Purcell was not expecting, I should say, Nolan to go up the line again.
That's right. She's been hit most of the time to that other corner.
30 love. Nolan starting to off bounces.
That one went off the net in the end. Purcell missed the down line.
Chrissy Nolan, after falling behind a break here early in the third set, breaks back and then holds service on her game. She leads 2-1 here in the third.
Well, so expression's a little bit more positive this time. Still pretty much straight ahead. Head's not bowed this time anyhow. Looks like she's feeling a little bit better.
So we are still on serve here in the third set. Nobody covers Chicago's home teams like Chet Kopic, and when he's paired with the analysts such as Norm Van Laird, Doug Buffone, and the newest analyst on the Game Room, Troy Murray, you've got one unbeatable team. Catch the Game Room weeknights at 7 or before the game only on Fox Sports Chicago.
Good crowd out here to see the match.
And they are seeing Chrissy Nolan constantly get pushed back a little bit, but she always comes roaring right back. And she's done it again here in the third set. And Margaret Purcell at some point has to begin to wonder, geez, what do I have to do to get the upper hand on Chrissy Nolan? They did meet one time earlier this year. Nolan won that match. Yeah, you can certainly see that Chrissy Nolan's demeanor has changed a lot since the last changeover. And one thing to keep an eye on after this changeover, as we have seen throughout this match, is there seems to be a period of adjustment for 2 or 3 points before players get used to the changing wind again. Purcell to serve.
Sails long. Again, Nolan without a lot of topspin on that backhand. Caught it a little late, sailed on her. That's a great recovery by Chrissy Nolan there. She was way out of position. Purcell hit the ball cross court. Nolan stuck her racket out. Look at this. Completely off the court. Purcell goes cross court. Nolan recovers just in time. Stabs it down line.
15 all. 15-30.
Big wind kicked up there in the middle of Margaret Purcell's swing, and she overtopped the ball into the net. Chrissy Nolan with an unforced error. Ball in the top of the net again. Left her feet a little too soon on that forehand. Top of the net again.
30-40 and break point for Chrissy Nolan.
Good rally on that point, but again, Purcell pulled off the court, hit the top of the net. Nolan hits the net.
Now an opportunity for Margaret Purcell to take a point of the match that was not going in her favor and turn it around.
Just second ball, just sails it along. It's a lack of concentration.
Break point again for Nolan. It's been so close throughout this match.
Advantage Glenbrook South.
Okay. Concerned about the score there. Running around the court trying to get Nolan out of position. backs up on that backhand. It's in the net, hustles in here. Nice approach shot. Nolan gets the ball, lobs it up. Purcell goes back, and there's that wind again. Just mishit the ball. It's that ball all over the place.
Nolan breaks and now leads 3-1 in the third set. You know, Chrissy Nolan has a deceptive amount of quickness. It did not look like she was going to get to that.
It's amazing. Doesn't look like she's running that fast, but she's always there. I spoke to her trainer earlier today, and she's been conditioning really hard to try to build up her legs. She's well conditioned for this match. That's a great shot. Purcell at the ball right on the line. Nolan could barely get to it, and I think the wind again knocked it down, made it hard for her to get to. They are running all over the court. Purcell flicks this little angle here. Tough angle to hit from there. Nolan just can't get it back. Purcell, return a serve in the net. Concentration for both players kind of up and down.
Now we're starting to see what we saw in the early part of the match, and that is the players having a difficult time with the wind and hitting all sorts of balls into the net.
That's right. See, Nolan jumped up and tried to nail that ball, ended up hitting it in the net.
Now, this is a big game for Nolan because she certainly doesn't want to give back that hard-earned break right away. That's one way to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, she stepped up and cracked that backhand. Purcell hit a short angle, but not anywhere near.
Got a little friend up here. We've got the wasps or the
Bees and the wasps.
They're not moving as quickly as they were, though, a couple months ago,
That's right. I
are
think
they?
this wind's knocking them down, too.
Maybe the pivotal point of the match here.
Well, Purcell got Nolan out of position the way she wanted, got her short ball, and then mishit the short ball. Those are shots that the players really want to make. They want to have those.
Nolan serving for a 4-1 third set lead.
Serve called long. Purcell nets the return.
Chrissy Nolan holds serve and now has what you would have to believe is a commanding lead here in the third set. It's 4-1, but the way we have seen players come back in this match, it's a long way from being over. Margaret Purcell really faces a must-hold situation here.
And you can see a little bit of a look of concern on her face as they switch sides. Chrissy Nolan had a huge smile. She's feeling much more relaxed than she was earlier.
Yeah, Chrissy Nolan seemed like she enjoyed that changeover very much.
She's gone from burying her head in her hands to a big smile. See if it affects the way she plays. That one's wide. Pretty much a wide open court. Missed it wide down the line.
$15 love. I'm wondering myself, Margaret Purcell, about that as well. That looked long.
Well, the baseline line judge said the ball was in.
Margaret Purcell thought it was out.
Yep. Took her eye off the ball, missed it straight up in the air.
Might be tough to see here.
Yeah.
Keep it from the serve.
Yeah, here it is. Very deep. Doesn't look like she made an attempt.
No.
It was very close.
15 all.
Well, Purcell on the attack that time, but mishits the volley. She hit a great approach shot down the line, but jumped a little early on that volley and caught it on the frame.
Well, one more shovel full of dirt, and the hole may be a little bit too deep for Margaret Purcell.
Depth by Purcell on that point.
And Purcell works it back to 30-30.
Nolan misses long.
Right or wrong time to be aggressive there?
Oh, she's got to be aggressive. It's her game. She can't change her style now. She just overran the ball and caught it a little late. And there's case in point. Just better execution.
Chrissy Nolan just calmly countering everything, and Margaret Purcell, no matter how much she forces the pressure onto Nolan, just can't seem to get the upper hand.
Great depth by Nolan. Purcell can't quite get there, catches the ball in the end of the racket, and the ball goes wide.
Advantage Nolan. Would be her third service break of this set. Any other part of the net, that wouldn't have made it.
Okay, great depth by Nolan again, going for her shots.
And now Chrissy Nolan an opportunity to serve for a state championship.
She's got a little smile on her face here, so she must be feeling pretty good. Margaret Purcell trying to pump herself up, jumping up and down.
She will have to battle back here like she's never battled before. How many times she has really had a chance to get the upper hand in this match and just never quite come through with that.
Again, cut that too close to the line. Ball went wide for Purcell. First serve by Chrissy Nolan. Purcell hit the return back deep, and Nolan just forced error. Up and down. That Nolan forehand just unloaded on that last one. Wind or no wind, she was putting the ball in the corner. Continuously driving the ball. So, no chance. I mean, she's 3 feet away. No chance. Here we are at match point.
Chrissy Nolan a chance at yet another state championship. And she'll get 2 opportunities at it. Chrissy Nolan does it again.
Big boy. There's that smile.
That was by far her biggest serve of the day
Yeah.
on championship point.
Yep, big serve, followed up by a big forehand.
What a battling match by Chrissy Nolan all afternoon long, and people are going to look at the end score of this match and say, well, Chrissy Nolan must have had it in control all the way. That wasn't the case, but in the end, she is again the single state champion of the state of Illinois this year,
Well, now she's getting
1998.
tackled by her teammates.
Well, they teach a lot of good tackling there in the Scouts football program. Maybe that's carried over. We're back with more after this timeout. Our Pepsi play of the match. This is where Chrissy Nolan wins yet another state championship.
Huge serve to set this up. Gets the short return and just bye-bye. There goes the forehand.
All that's left then is the celebrating. For Corky Layton, I'm Jim Blaney saying so long from Prospect High School, where Chrissy Nolan of Glenbrook South is your 1998 singles champion, defeating Margaret Purcell of Lake Forest 6-1 in the third. You've been watching IHSA Championship Tennis on Fox Sports Chicago.